Welcome, gentle soul. Tonight, allow the noise of the world to fade away. As we return to the ancient mystery of Atlantis, this is not a story of fear or destruction, but of understanding, harmony, and quiet transformation. As you listen, let your breathing slow, your thoughts soften, and your heart grow lighter now. Drift with me into the glowing island of Atlantis, where the ocean whispers, the light heals, and peace awaits, not to expose them or to judge them, but simply to give them shape so a person could finally face them. The echo stone did not speak through sound, it spoke through presence, it revealed things the way water reveals the reflection of a face, the star. Whisperer told him that all he needed to do was touch it with his hand, the stone would do the rest. Ayan hesitated. He felt a sudden flutter in his chest, the idea of seeing his own hidden emotions made him nervous, but the memory of last night reminded him that the world here did not try to hurt him, it only wanted him to grow lighter, so he placed his palm gently on the glowing surface. The stone warmed under his touch, the light pulsed faintly. Then a soft wave of energy flowed through his hand and into his chest, his mind filled with images. Not memories exactly, but impressions, echoes. He saw himself standing at a crossroads from many years ago. Unsure of which path to take, he saw the loneliness he had carried, shaped by quiet disappointments and unspoken dreams. He saw moments when he had pretended to be strong, even when he felt like breaking. He saw the fear he had never admitted, the fear that he was not enough, the fear that no place truly belonged to him, the fear that he would always be wandering. Ayan felt his throat tighten, but the echo stone did not show these things sharply, it softened them. As if each echo were wrapped in gentle light, it made every emotion feel understandable, not painful, not overwhelming, simply honest. Tears gathered at the corners of his eyes. He whispered that he had never realized how much he had hidden from himself, the star. Whisperer placed her hand on his back. She told him that the strongest people are often the ones who hide the most, not because they want to deceive others, but because they are afraid they will lose their strength if they look directly at their own wounds. She told him that the valley did not want him to be strong in that way anymore. It wanted him to be whole. Ayan closed his eyes and breathed out slowly. The echo stone dimmed as if acknowledging his release. The images faded, the weight inside him loosened and dissolved like snow melting under sunlight. When Ayan opened his eyes again, the clearing looked different. The colors seemed brighter, the air felt kinder. His heart felt as if it had shed another layer of heaviness that he never knew he carried. The star whisperer looked at him with gentle pride. She told him this was only the second step of his transformation. The first had happened when the breath light touched him. This second step came from seeing his true emotions without fear. The third step would come tonight. It would be the most mysterious and the most powerful. Ayan asked her what would happen tonight. She smiled softly and said that the night would reveal a truth that waited beyond the sky, a truth he was finally ready to hear. His heart trembled with anticipation. The valley listened. Night would come soon, and he sensed it would change everything. The day faded slowly into evening. The sky changed its color, as if brushing itself with soft pastels, pale lavender melting into gentle rose, then fading into deep violet. The valley seemed quieter than ever. Even the river moved with less urgency, curling around rocks and mossy banks like a gentle ribbon of silver. Ayan walked with the star whisperer, sensing the calm, but knowing that something unseen hovered on the edge of awareness. The air itself felt slightly heavier, carrying a message that could not be spoken with words. That night, when the first stars began to appear, the Atlanteans who had grown into harmony with the island over countless seasons, began to notice something unusual. Their sleep was deeper than usual, yet filled with visions they dreamed not of ordinary places, but of the island itself moving in ways they could not explain. Towers shimmered differently. Rivers bent in unexpected patterns. The crystal hill pulsed with light in unusual rhythms at first. They thought these dreams were simply reflections of their lives. But as the visions repeated night after night, a gentle concern stirred in their hearts. The first to awaken was Leora. She rose before the dawn. Guided by an unseen feeling, she sat quietly by the central pool, watching the still water reflect the stars. Even though the night had been filled with unsettling visions, she felt no fear. There was only quiet curiosity as she traced her fingers along the surface. Tiny ripples formed, and within them, faint patterns began to emerge. She could almost hear the water whispering. She realized that the island itself was communicating, softly warning them of a change that was not yet fully visible. Leora called the others one by one. The Atlanteans gathered near the pools. They spoke in whispers, their voices low and melodic, blending with the hum of the water. Each described dreams that were almost identical images of waves, taller than the tallest crystal towers, clouds swirling in colors no eye had ever seen, and a sense of quiet trembling in the land. These dreams did not bring panic, but a gentle alertness. The Atlanteans understood that their harmony with the island allowed them to perceive subtle shifts that ordinary beings could not detect. Together, they decided to seek guidance from the Moon Hall, a sacred space built near the Crystal Hill. It was a place where the light of the moon reflected in multiple pools, creating a network of soft luminescence that bathed the hall in a calm glow. Here, they could focus their thoughts and listen with greater clarity. Each Atlantean took a place by a pool, closed their eyes, and allowed the visions from the dreams to settle around them like a gentle mist. As they meditated, the images began to clarify. The ocean, which had always seemed calm and supportive, now appeared restless. Its waves curled in patterns that suggested intention rather than chance. The winds swirled above the island, forming intricate spirals in the sky. Even the stars above seemed to bend slightly, in recognition of something happening far below. The Atlanteans did not feel fear, only understanding. They realized that the dreams were not threats, but invitations to prepare and to act with the wisdom of patience and harmony. Leora noticed a subtle vibration through the crystal hill. It was a heartbeat slightly different from the familiar rhythm that had guided the island since its creation. The Atlanteans pressed their palms to the hill, feeling the faint irregularity. It was gentle, like a quiet sigh of warning. They recognized that this subtle pulse was tied to the visions in their dreams. The island itself was whispering through its heartbeat, trying to alert them before the change became undeniable. Aaron, a young Atlantean who had learned to read the winds, raised his voice softly. He suggested that they create a plan, not of defense, but of preparation. They could strengthen the gardens, ensure the streams remained clear, and place crystals along the borders to help harmonize the land. Each action would not prevent what was to come, but it could help them remain in balance, preserving the grace and serenity of the island. Even as the ocean shifted, the Atlanteans worked quietly, with hands and hearts attuned to every gentle vibration of the land. They moved the plants carefully, adjusted the flow of water in the streams, and touched the edges of crystal towers with calm attention. The moon hall itself glowed brighter with each act. As if pleased by their devotion, everything they did was guided by love for the island, not by fear of what might occur. As night deepened again, The visions returned, but now they were softer. Filled with light that pulsed in harmony with the Atlanteans' actions, they watched as waves, clouds, and winds in their dreams aligned slowly, showing them glimpses of a future where the island remained a sanctuary even through change. The dreams no longer caused unease, but quiet awareness and confidence. The Atlanteans understood that the island and the ocean were connected in a delicate dance. The dreams were the ocean's gentle reminders to respect its power while moving with care. By the next morning, the Atlanteans gathered once more by the crystal hill. They spoke without hurry. Without raising their voices, every word was measured, soft, and deliberate. They decided to teach the younger ones to interpret the subtle messages of the dreams. They explained how to feel the rhythms of the streams, the heartbeat of the crystal hill, and the whispers of the winds. Each Atlantean practiced attentively, learning to trust the guidance offered through dreams. The star whisperer appeared in the morning light. Her presence calm and radiant, she reminded them that warnings were not punishments. They were invitations to deepen understanding, to listen more carefully, and to act with clarity and compassion. She told them that the universe communicates in many ways, and that sometimes dreams are the clearest language available. Ayan listened closely, feeling the threads of his own inner transformation weaving into the fabric of the island. He understood now that dreams were not just private experiences, but a shared connection with the land, the water, and the stars above. As the sun rose higher, the Atlanteans felt more prepared, more connected, more harmonious than ever before. They did not know exactly what change would come, nor when, but they trusted the island and themselves. Every wave, every wind, every whisper of the crystal hill reminded them that Atlantis thrived not because it resisted, but because it moved with understanding. The dreams that had warned them were no longer unsettling. They were teachers of patience, of attentiveness, and of unity. That day, the island seemed to glow brighter, reflecting the Atlanteans' quiet readiness. Streams ran clearer, leaves shimmered more softly, and even the waves near the shore appeared gentler, moving with a rhythm that seemed almost to celebrate their awareness. The Atlanteans had learned that change is never something to fear, it is something to understand, to honor, and to embrace with grace. And as night fell once again, the valley listened. The ocean whispered softly, the stars leaned closer. The Atlanteans drifted into sleep with calm hearts, their minds attuned to the visions that would continue to guide them, knowing that whatever came, they would face it together, in harmony. With quiet courage, the evening arrived with a delicate calm. The sky was painted in pale lavender and soft indigo, blending gently until it became the deep blue of night. The air was cool and still, carrying a faint scent of salt and moss from the nearby rivers. Atlantis seemed to hold its breath, as if sensing the ocean itself preparing to speak. The Atlanteans moved quietly along the shores, their bare feet brushing against glowing sands. Each step felt like a meditation, a slow acknowledgement of the life around them. Ayan walked beside Leora. Both had felt the subtle vibrations from the previous nights, the gentle warnings embedded in their dreams. Now there was a new sensation, deeper and more insistent. The waves rolled softly at first, whispering against the shore, then they swelled ever so slightly, moving with a quiet purpose. The ocean was not angry, but it carried a message that demanded respect. Its rhythm was a pulse, steady and deliberate, as if it had waited for this moment for many centuries. The Atlanteans gathered along the waterline. Their movements were careful and harmonious. No one rushed or shouted. They allowed the waves to speak. First, Leora knelt and placed her hand on the tide, Feeling the pulse under her palm, the water vibrated faintly, carrying stories from far beneath the surface. Where the depths hid secrets older than the island itself, Ayan closed his eyes and listened. Each heartbeat of the ocean seemed to echo in his chest. He realized that the ocean had returned not to harm, but to awaken something that had slumbered quietly in the hearts of Atlantis. The crystal hill glowed gently, resonating with the waves. Its light mingled with the silvery reflections of the moon, creating a calm path that stretched across the water. The Atlanteans followed the light with soft, deliberate steps, feeling the rhythm of the tide as if it were guiding them. The waves carried them a message of patience, of care, and of listening. They felt the ocean's presence not as a force to resist, but as a teacher to honor. A gentle mist rose from the surface of the sea, curling around the Atlanteans' legs and drifting upward into the night sky. Within the mist, faint shapes began to appear. They were soft and shifting, like delicate silhouettes of creatures formed from moonlight. The Atlanteans could not identify them, but they felt no fear. The shapes moved with grace, guiding attention rather than demanding it. Each ripple of the water seemed to carry the memory of the island's creation, whispering that every element, the earth, the water, the light, and the hearts of the people, was connected. Ayan reached the edge of the water and knelt. He touched the surface. The waves responded instantly, lapping gently at his hands as if greeting an old friend. He felt a subtle warmth beneath his fingers, a steady pulse that matched the rhythm of the crystal hill. The Star Whisperer placed her hand on his shoulder, and he felt her calm presence as an anchor. She told him to trust the ocean, to let it show what it had come to reveal. The waves began to rise slowly, forming shapes that reflected the light of the moon. They created arcs that shimmered like liquid crystal. Within these arcs, faint visions appeared. Ayan could see the history of the tides, the paths of currents, the whispers of storms long past, and the hidden movements of creatures too deep for human eyes. He saw the patterns of life and time, not as separate events, but as an endless harmony, a flowing melody that connected every element of existence. The Atlanteans watched in quiet reverence. They understood that this was not merely a display. It was an invitation to learn the language of the sea, a language older than words, older than dreams. The ocean had returned to teach them humility, patience, and the art of listening. It asked them to open their hearts fully, to feel without rushing, to perceive without judgment. Slowly, the waves formed a central spiral of light, directly aligned with the crystal hill. The Atlanteans stepped forward in unison, their bare feet on the glowing sands, their hands brushing against the soft surf. Each person became aware of their own heartbeat, matching it to the rhythm of the waves and the pulse of the hill. A symphony of harmony rose, unspoken but deeply felt. Even the wind carried a soft vibration that seemed to complete the pattern. The Star Whisperer spoke in a low, melodic voice. She reminded them that the ocean always moves with intention. Its power is immense, but it is neither cruel nor capricious. To honor the sea is to honor life itself, the delicate balance that sustains everything. She said the ocean's return was a moment of renewal, not destruction. It had arrived to show Atlantis that even when the waters shift, the island and its people could remain in gentle balance. As the night deepened, the waves receded slowly, leaving behind a soft residue of moonlight on the sand. The Atlanteans felt a sense of calm they had never known. They could sense the knowledge, and warnings carried in their dreams had now taken form in the real world. The sea had spoken, and they had listened. Harmony was preserved not by power, but by awareness, by gentleness, and by unity. Ayan turned to the Star Whisperer. He realized that the ocean had returned to prepare them to awaken understanding that could not be learned through ordinary experience. Every ripple, every pulse, every gentle surge had been a teacher. He felt gratitude beyond words, not just for the island or the ocean, but for the quiet trust he now carried within himself. The Atlanteans returned to the crystal hill. Each placed a hand upon the smooth surface. The hill glowed brighter than before, its light now infused with the rhythm of the ocean. Together, they closed their eyes and breathed slowly, feeling the island, the sea, and the night sky as one continuous heartbeat. It was a moment of perfect harmony, a soft pause in time where every element existed in serene balance. And as the first light of dawn touched the horizon, Atlantis slept once more, peaceful and radiant. The waves returned to their usual gentle rhythm. The streams flowed in calm currents, and the air carried the lingering fragrance of salt and moonlight. The island had faced the quiet return of the sea and emerged unshaken, strengthened not by resistance, but by understanding. Tonight, the Atlanteans had learned that change is not a threat, but a teacher. They had discovered the quiet courage that comes from listening, the deep serenity that arises from awareness, and the gentle power that grows when hearts move together with the pulse of the world. The valley of Atlantis woke to a gentle morning. The sun rose slowly over the horizon, spilling pale gold across the crystal hill and illuminating every leaf, stream, and ripple of water. The island seemed to breathe in the new day, its soft rhythms echoing in the hearts of the Atlanteans after the night when the sea had returned. A quiet clarity filled the air. Something unspoken had shifted, as if the island itself had grown deeper in understanding. Ayan walked along the edge of the river. The water glimmered softly, reflecting the gentle curve of the sky. Every ripple seemed alive, moving with intention, carrying messages that only those who truly listened could understand. He paused to watch his reflection, noticing how calm his eyes had become. He remembered the breathlight, the echo stone, and the gentle lessons of the sea. All of it had shaped him into someone who could perceive beauty in the quietest details, someone who could sense the language of light and lively. Aura approached, carrying a small cluster of memory crystals. Their glow was faint, yet steady, illuminating her face with soft warmth. She told him that the Atlanteans had discovered something remarkable during the night. The light within the pools and crystals had begun to change. It was subtle at first, a faint shimmer, but it became stronger as the hours passed. The light seemed to carry a new energy, a quiet healing force that resonated with the hearts of anyone who came near. Ayan felt drawn to the central pool of the crystal hill. The water glowed more brightly than ever, a soft radiance that seemed to pulse in harmony with the island. He knelt and placed his hands into the water. The moment his fingers touched the surface, warmth spread through his palms, then up through his arms and chest. The sensation was gentle but profound. He could feel the light reaching inside him, touching memories long buried, easing tension he had carried unknowingly. The Atlanteans gathered around the pool one by one. Each placed their hands upon the glowing water. Leora noticed how the light shifted to meet them, adjusting to each person's heart, as if the island itself were aware of their inner needs. The energy was calming and nurturing. It did not overwhelm or push. It guided, it comforted, it healed. Aaron stepped forward, holding a memory crystal that pulsed with soft golden light. He placed it in the pool. The water responded instantly, spreading warmth in gentle waves. The crystal's light grew brighter, mingling with the natural glow of the pool. The Atlanteans realized that the combination of the crystal and the water allowed the island to amplify its healing energy. It was as if the land itself had learned to speak through light, Offering solace to those who sought it, Ayan closed his eyes. He let the energy flow through him. He remembered the nights of visions, the whispers of the echo stone, and the lessons of the returning sea. Every experience, every moment of quiet attention had led him to this point. The light did not erase the past, nor did it hide the challenges that lay ahead. It simply softened them, showing that even the deepest wounds could find comfort and peace when met with care and understanding. The Atlanteans began to hum in soft unison, their voices blended with the sound of the flowing water and the pulse of the crystal hill. The melody was delicate, not structured, but perfectly attuned to the island. The light seemed to respond to their song, rising and falling in rhythm, creating a luminous dance across the water. Some Atlanteans felt their aches and fatigue easing, others felt long-held fears dissolve. The pool had become a place of quiet renewal. Even the plants and trees seemed to sense the change. Leaves shimmered more brightly, streams rippled with extra clarity. The flowers along the banks of the river turned gently toward the pools. As if drawn to the gentle glow, the valley had learned the same lesson the Atlanteans had discovered over time. Light carries power when it moves with intention and care. Healing does not force change, it guides it. Ayan lifted his gaze to the sky. The stars above began to flicker faintly in response, reflecting the rhythm of the healing light below. The moon hall glimmered with soft silver hues, joining in the quiet symphony of restoration. The star whisperer spoke, reminding everyone that the light's energy was not limited to one pool or one crystal. It was part of the island itself. Atlantis had discovered how to express its understanding of harmony and balance through pure energy. Reaching out to touch the hearts of its people, the Atlanteans remained by the pool until the sun rose high in the sky. Each felt a sense of quiet renewal, a deep calm that spread from their hearts into their steps and movements. Ayan felt lighter, more aware, and infinitely connected to the rhythm of life around him. The energy of the light reminded him that healing is a gentle, ongoing process, not a single act or sudden event. That evening, as the Atlanteans rested beneath the soft glow of the crystal hill, they carried with them the knowledge that the light could always be a guide. It was a gift, not only for physical healing, but for the quiet restoration of the soul. The valley itself seemed to hum with contentment. The water, the wind, the trees, and the stones all resonated with the newfound rhythm of harmony, creating a living melody that would continue to nurture the island and its people. And under the stars, Atlantis slept once more, radiant and serene. Its people carried the memory of the light, ready to face whatever awaited them with hearts full of courage, peace, and gentle understanding. The morning arrived in Atlantis with the softest light anyone could remember. The sky was a gentle gradient of rose and gold, reflecting in the calm waters that lapped at the shore. Even the smallest ripple seemed purposeful, carrying a quiet message of peace. The island felt awake in a new way, as if it had absorbed everything that had happened over the nights of dreams, the return of the sea, and the light that healed every leaf, every blade of grass. Every crystal stone seemed to pulse in harmony with the hearts of the Atlanteans. Ayan walked slowly along the beach, the cool sand pressing gently into his feet. He paused to look at the horizon, where the sun had begun to rise fully, scattering its soft light over the ocean. He remembered the breath light, the echo stone, the gentle warnings of dreams, and the night when the sea had returned. Every experience had shaped him, teaching him lessons not only about the world, but about himself. A gentle calm filled his chest. It was the kind of peace that comes when someone finally feels aligned with the rhythm of life. The Atlanteans gathered near the crystal hill. Its glow was steady and serene, no longer pulsing with urgent rhythm, but carrying a soft, eternal light. The pools around it shimmered faintly, reflecting the clarity that now filled the hearts of those who touched them. Leora placed her hands on the surface of one pool. The water seemed to breathe with her. She smiled as the ripples extended outward, carrying calmness to every corner of the valley. The Star Whisperer stood nearby. Radiating quiet wisdom, she spoke softly, reminding everyone that Atlantis was no longer just an island, but a living reflection of harmony. The challenges, the warnings, the visions, and the healing light had all brought the Atlanteans to a deeper understanding. They had learned that true strength comes from listening, from gentle awareness, and from living in unity with the world. Ayan looked around at his friends and the people who had become his family. He noticed the quiet joy in their eyes, the soft smiles that carried gratitude for the island and for each other. No one spoke loudly. There was no need. The calm that had been growing over many nights filled every heart. Even the air seemed softer, carrying the faint scent of sea, moss, and sunlight. The Atlanteans began to walk together through the valley, their steps slow and deliberate, as if moving in a ceremony of recognition for everything they had experienced. The streams reflected their gentle motion, carrying the soft light of the pools toward the ocean. The flowers and trees seemed to lean toward them, celebrating the harmony that had been restored. Every movement of the island felt synchronized with the quiet joy of its people. Ayan reached the highest point of the crystal hill. From there, he could see the ocean stretching endlessly, the forest spreading out in gentle waves of green, and the soft glimmer of pools scattered across the valley. The island felt alive in a way he had never imagined. It was as if every element had found its place in a living symphony, and every Atlantean had become a note in the melody. The Star Whisperer joined him and placed a hand gently on his shoulder. She told him that the lessons of the nights past had prepared them for this moment. The island had shown them the power of light, of listening, of dreaming, and of feeling. She said that harmony was not something to grasp or own, it was something to live. Moment by moment, breath by breath, connection by connection. Ayan closed his eyes and let the breeze brush across his face. He felt the warmth of the sun on his skin, the pulse of the crystal hill beneath his feet, and the soft rhythm of the ocean in his chest. Every fear he had carried, every doubt, every shadow of worry melted into the gentle understanding that now surrounded him. The light within him, once uncertain and faint, now glowed steadily below. The Atlanteans gathered around the pools once more. They sat quietly, hands touching water, feeling the soft warmth and harmony flowing into them. Some closed their eyes and breathed deeply. Some whispered gentle songs, soft melodies that drifted across the island like wind through the trees. The pools reflected not only their faces, but the infinite calm that had settled across Atlantis. The Star Whisperer spoke to the gathered people, reminding them that the future of Atlantis was in every heart present. She said that each person would carry the lessons of the breath light, the echo stone, the dreams, and the healing pools. She said they would continue to grow, guided by harmony, not fear. Every Atlantean understood that the true gift of the island was not in its beauty or its light, but in the way it allowed every heart to align with the rhythm of life. Ayan took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of the island as if it were a living heartbeat beneath his feet. He realized that Atlantis would always be more than land, more than water, more than crystals. It would live in their hearts, guiding them with gentle understanding, soft wisdom, and eternal harmony. The light they had discovered was not fleeting, it would stay with them forever, glowing quietly in moments of stillness, reminding them that peace and love could always be nurtured. The sun rose higher, filling the valley with gentle warmth. Birds sang softly, the streams sparkled. The waves moved with calm certainty. The island had settled into an eternal rhythm, a quiet symphony of balance and serenity. Ayan and the Atlanteans felt that they had finally arrived at a place where hearts could rest, where the lessons of life and nature could be carried forward with ease and grace. And as night returned once more, the valley and its people slept beneath the gentle glow of the crystal hill. The light whispered softly through the pools, across the streams, and along the ocean's edge. The Atlanteans dreamed, not of warnings or fears, but of understanding, joy, and infinite possibility. Atlantis, the island of eternal harmony, had become not only a place, but a living reminder of how love, awareness, and unity could create beauty that lasts forever. The stars reflected on the water. The moon rose slowly. The islands and hearts of the Atlanteans rested in soft, perfect balance. Every heartbeat matched the pulse of the land. Every breath carried the rhythm of life. Atlantis would always glow. Its story would continue quietly, endlessly, in every wave, every leaf, and every dream. And in that calm, gentle moment, the island, the people, and the universe itself seemed to sigh in peace together.